Please smoke responsibly.
We earned that reputation. Yeah, damn right we killed more.
It's Constitution
I
and
just-
Well, here's the thing. There's been so much
People
going
dying
on.
everywhere.
Absolutely.
From Dust recaps.
All right, and welcome to D&D 420 Recap 30 for From Dust. My name is Tommy. I play Throver, a human monk. With me is Mike.
What's up, everybody?
He plays Raspip, a gnome illusionist. With me also is Matt. He plays Rask, a human barbarian. Also, Nathan joins us. He plays Nassau, a tiefling dustblade. And Tim plays a gentleman by the name of, a dark elf, I should say, by the name of Makar, who's a rogue scout. In case you didn't know, we're a guild called D&D 420, playing in the world created by our friend and guildmaster Jim, the Grand Tormentor, centered around Vulkaminar, which is in the Wood of Dark Weather. I would like to take a moment of silence. All right.
Man,
It's been a sad moment. A person has fallen, a dear friend, someone very special to Throven. Raz
Brask
has
is dead.
passed away. Is dead. I'm teary-eyed too. No more yells. No more I eat my food loudly moments.
oh man,
No
But we
more,
have to get
no
through
more
this
barbarian
recap.
rage.
We have to get through this recap so you can join us when we talk more in depth, more about characters, more about Raz dying on the next episode, episode 20 of After Dusk. All right, let's go ahead and start this moment.
all right. Well, this is recap 30. We picked up where we started our 30th gaming session at the end of a Soulless fight. We had all fought some Soulless, and some of us had gotten banged up pretty bad. I know Makar and Vrask pretty much took the brunt.
I actually got lucky that the fight, that fight previous, they only took a little bit of strength and constitution damage, or a little bit of constitution and charisma damage. Pretty good. I just missing a lot of hit points.
Well, it seemed like you were passing in the session 29 fight. Seems like you were passing a lot of the saves for the curse. So,
Yeah.
I was doing well for a little bit. Yeah, that fight.
Yeah, that fight he did well. And like I said, I healed some people. I restored a little bit of what's his name, Makar. But I just told Makar to stay out of battle, man. Come on.
yeah.
So we ventured forth.
Yeah, it says we saw burnt bodies and skirt marks from recent battles.
There were also more of those bomb things, those holy hand.
Oh yeah,
things
more of those. Yeah,
as
holy
well.
hand
So
grenades.
it seems that these catacombs are kind of fairly stocked with these things. I mean, there's been a lot of fighting going down here, so we walked into it assuming this.
Yeah. And then we heard voices and I guess some banging of metal or something. There was something that was going on. We heard
the familiar
There's
scrapes and
gruff voices
of the soulless, the kind of sliding noises. But we also heard voices along them.
Yeah, and then we stood there and I think they asked if we wanted to adjust, but I stood there to do some other stuff, and then I said lightning came out. I think that's the first time we got. See, I think that was the reason why it gave the illusion that we were down more so because that lightning bolt the first time.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot about that first lightning bolt.
Because that lightning bolt,
me too.
Because that first lightning bolt started, and for me, of course, I imagine I was praying and doing like dodging, like a pinwheel style as you guys get hit by lightning because everyone got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, it was nasty. Like, woo. I'm glad I didn't get hit there. Anyway,
Yeah, that was just the beginning, man. That whole fight was fucking carnage. I mean,
it took, and we had a little bit. I mean, the session itself was shorter than normal, so most of the session was taken up by that fight. In fact, 90% of it was, at least. So
yeah, we were down the player. We were down Nathan, who plays Nassau.
Yeah, and we were down on player as well. So
yep.
Jim took that into account, though. So kudos to Jim.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that was a battle. Throven took over, started giving out more orders. We cast darkness. We were moving back, but Vras took a lot of con damage. And I know I did one healing during that time, but then it wasn't. I mean, that lightning bolt pretty much did it in.
We had a lightning bolt, and I had two of those soulless just fighting me. And it was like, without Nassau there, like it was just that fight was just too much.
Couldn't do the DPS quick enough, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the map itself, I mean, it was a really. I like the map. The way it was all set up.
Oh, that map was awesome.
Was really cool. The fight started. I'm pretty sure it was 3 bugbears. Back with the wizard. There was a wizard. There was 3 soulless. The soulless came across. It was a bridge that they'd come across.
Yeah.
So we tried to do some CC with that, but they were breaking through it fairly easily, and then they avoided it at top. Some of them were able to get out of it at top. So it was rough, man. It was tough.
It was, I mean, the stuff. I mean, Throven started giving orders. It was funny because when Throven starts giving orders, because it looks like in a panic, but Vras goes down. It's something like, oh, I can't let this happen.
It's like it's a calm panic. Like fucking Throven was like, he was just it was just fucking nuts, man.
It was
you were prepared for that, yeah.
And this was our first tangle with a wizard type, a spell slinging character.
Yeah.
So.
This
new dynamic.
No, it wasn't. No, Alistair.
Well, Alistair, but he did some summons and stuff.
Yeah, he did. But we knew Alistair. Remember, it was I used silence.
Yeah.
On Rask, so he couldn't get off all his everything else.
Yeah. Oh, this is true. This is true.
Yeah. So if I would have, if I knew, because Throven was not expecting the wizard at all.
Okay, so I will append my earlier thing. This is the first time we've went to against a wizard that we didn't prepare for.
Yeah,
specifically.
We didn't prepare for. Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's some things, but we can talk about that later on. There's some things.
Yeah. Now, and for Pip sitting back, everything was going pretty normal. As far as that went, I mean, they were breaking through, but the soulless were getting taken down. I was worried more about the wizard than anything, because that first lightning bolt volley was tough, so. And I knew Makar was pretty burned up as well, because he went, starting in the beginning, he was hiding behind a rock, popping out, shooting kind of thing. So he was using cover.
Well, I mean, I think he only had like 10 hit points or some shit in the beginning of the fight. He told us that like, I'm super injured, but and everyone was, I remember Thurman was like, yeah, just keep in the back, we'll be fine. And then we have this fight, and Vras goes down. Probably like, what round do you think I went down? Probably like rounds like 6 or 7.
Yeah, something like that.
And then Makar went down a few rounds after.
But you went down. I mean, but Makar had more hit points than that, because I had to do. He was down because I had to do I did lesser restoration on him to bring some of his hit points back, and then I healed him a little bit. But I wasn't gonna waste all my healing on him because he took a lightning bolt and he lived, so he didn't have 10 hit points starting off.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because I also did the whole healing where I think I did another pearl healing. Yeah, I did a pearl healing during the beginning of that, so I was healing people, and I healed mass cure. So
forgive me.
I mean, it was something that was overwhelming. It was Vrask, and we can again talk about this after that. You remember when Thurman says, "Why don't you scoot back?" And you said you didn't know if you understand me, and you sort of stood there and waited another round. Like, I don't.
Oh yeah, so there was a point where I could have backed up.
I was so worried about that. I was like, oh man, I should take over now. I don't know why. And we've talked about, oh, you won't understand me, and you said, you would just be a series of roars, and you just did like, oh, okay, all right, fine.
Process those thoughts while I'm enraged, like
yeah. So you said that, and I think that was a crucial point too, because if I could at least got in there sooner and got between them, because I was ready to go. Like, okay, well, he's not doing that. I got to do something else.
Yeah, some major thing, like, man.
Initiative order was rough too, at least for Pip, because man, I rolled a 4. on that
Oh,
initiative.
fuck
So
yeah, we
like
need
I,
you,
I was
yeah.
dead last. And the baddies went on 5, I think. So
Yeah, of course, shit.
I think
maybe it was
think
just bad for me, the initiative roll.
yeah.
Man, I just like I've the first attack I go in there for, that's just natural fucking nat 1.
Yeah,
I knew something was up, and then
But
both those
see,
guys got on me.
the reason why I wanted to get there because you had nothing with fire, and I said, okay, I had everything hooked up, I had all my spells, and you were still there, and that's when he said, well, I'm enraged. I said, okay, well, fine, you're enraged, but and I can deal with that, but that's when it was almost a little too late, and it wasn't the guys. By the time we stepped back, and you realized that you were hurt, that's when we were lined up perfectly for like a
That
lightning.
fucking
that
lightning bolt,
fucking
yeah.
lightning
Not a
bolt.
lightning bolt. I like Vrask didn't just go, like, he didn't go unconscious or anything, man. That lightning bolt just fucking fried his ass. It was like, fuck. I was like a -13 after that lightning bolt.
Oh yeah, -13.
Yeah, I was a negative. Yeah, so it just killed me. I didn't go unconscious or anything. I didn't bleed out. It just fucking flat out killed.
I mean, there were some things that again that we could have done better.
Yeah.
Maybe I could just maybe he healed you, but I thought you had plenty. It was that lightning bolt because I thought he has plenty of healing. Once I get into the mix, these undead ain't gonna fuck with him anymore. He can sit back, drink a potion, do what he gotta do.
But we took care of the undead at the bottom. I know Makar jumped across.
Yeah.
There was a small stream or something. Well, it wasn't small. It was actually a pretty big stream because it was tough. Yeah, this is after Vrask had fell. Okay, so Vrask is down. It leaves the 3 of us, and at that point, I'm starting to think, okay, everybody's getting picked off, man. I'm right by the exit. So
fire flee. Yeah, fire flee. You always got that out.
I was waiting for because I know that Throvin was pretty hurt too, and I knew Makar was too. So Makar jumped across there and ended up getting kind of in the thick of things with those bugbears in the wizard, and that's when I think when Makar jumped across. It was either when Makar jumped across or Throvin, seeing Vrask go down, gets this like bolster of. At least that's what I think.
No, it was Vrask went down first, and then it looks like a bolster. That's when everything was clicking like was supposed to click. I was doing like, plus 13, plus, whatever. I was like crunch, crunch, crunch with 2D, 2D6 plus 8 or something like that.
Yeah,
yeah. You were.
Did I do that wrong?
Great sword there.
No, 2D6 plus 8. Yeah, so 2D6 plus 8. Oh, plus 1. Plus 1 more. 2D6 plus 9. So I was doing and hitting it like 4 or 5 times, 2 or 3 times. I at least get 2 attacks. It was just going off. It was getting crazy. It's even making Jim, the DM, go like, huh. I was like, yeah.
But it was meant to be, man. Vrask went down, and just fucking took it.
The dice told the story of that game.
Oh yeah. You jumped across there. Well, that's when we learned when you guys jumped over there. You were close enough to see that this wizard wasn't a normal wizard because I had done burned 2 phantasmal killers on him. In hindsight, again, probably not the best moves. It would have been. It essentially was 2 wasted rounds on my part.
Yeah.
But we learned that he was also undead.
Yeah,
so
that's
he
when
wasn't.
He was a soul.
That's when Makar jumped over in the black tentacles. He saw it was a soul, so we yelled it out. And I had not jumped over yet.
Yeah.
That's
right.
when I go like, I can't go. Yeah, it was like, okay. And it was like Makar and the monster was bound in your arms, your black tentacles.
Yeah.
So you couldn't release it. So that's the reason why I came and ran around and jumped over and went going through that route because it's the shortest point to the wizard.
Yeah.
If I get bound, it was
badass fucking
maybe
moment,
I could bring
man.
him. So.
Like, then you roll 30 on balance and something else. Like, you jumped over there. It was such a bad fucking moment, man. Like,
I jumped over. Jim told me roll a balance because I was on the edge. I think I rolled a 31 and a 30, and I was fighting. I had to roll another balance. I think it was a 20. So I was just fighting on this little patch of land. I was like, okay. Well.
Then I was able to get off some
summons.
Summons, yeah, some hellhounds to just just try to keep some pressure on them. That's Makar actually went unconscious around that point. I know that there was a ball of fire cast as well. Big spells. These are big spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Makar. Like when he went down for around a couple rounds after that because he was just bleeding out, man. I mean, he almost died too. 2 people almost died.
Yeah.
And Pip standing there by the exit going 2 down. So, but and in all, we of course triumphed. We were able to take care of that last bigger bugbear. It looked like some kind of command. And then we were able to down the wizard because the wizard was kind of retreating. One bugbear did escape. He ran past Pip, but Pip was not, like tried tackling. I think I even towards the end and cast invisibility on myself just in case I needed. So,
but I think you cast invisibility on yourself, and then I think it was going on for a couple rounds.
Yeah, it was like 3 rounds. But again, that was around the time Makar was about to go down, and everything's really starting to look really dicey. Oh, not to mention, again, we were down Nassau. Nate wasn't able to be there. Now, in the beginning of the fight, he was standing there. His token was on the board with us. But at some point, I don't know when, but Jim removed the token. So Nassau had taken off or something. I know that one of the wizards' first volley actually attacked Nassau, and Nassau kind of looked scared or stunned, or I thought he may be held or something. He was affected by something. But then through this whole battle, Nassau's token was off the board, so we didn't know where he was. So we're down to 2 of us. The wizard did finally go down, and you were able to revive Makar. Jump back over, come around, check on Vrask. Everybody runs up to him, see what's going on with him. He starts trembling.
Yeah.
I started fucking like having fissures in my body and shit.
Yeah, that's as I was choking.
I remember like before that you guys are like, what do we do? Like, what the fuck? Like, and Raspip's like, what can you do to Throven? And just like, I remember you just couldn't think of anything. Until you started choking me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take his head off. Vrask comes back as one of the soulless. Fighting, Throven was on fire at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, I caught back on fire again. I used to catch back on fire again.
So Raspip sits back and watches the epic final fight, between these 2 long friends, knowing that Vrask is gone, that this is that it's just the husk, but still it's very symbolic.
Yeah, very, man. I mean, fuck. It's like I've been playing him for fucking 6 months, and losing him, I felt it, man. It was like nothing. Nothing was planned either. It was just fucking a random. Like we knew what we were doing. We were going to fight Soulless, doing this job, but man, we fucking didn't expect to lose anyone. That really like
after dust.
Yeah, let's pick up and after dust. All right, so we came to them. We looted the bodies. We looted Vrask.
Decided it's time to go back home.
Yeah.
Hey, we cannot move forward in this condition.
As we were walking out,
you saw like 3 bugbears. They had Nassau like by the throat, and his eyes were bulging. His sword was on the ground, and that's where we ended. It was just like, okay, that's where we're going to end it this.
You know it's bad if his sword is fucking on the ground too, man. Nixel flicks his blade, Nassau's blade that he always keeps on him.
All right. I want to just move it quickly into favorite moment in this thing. I'm gonna start with you, Matt. What's your favorite moment?
Oh man, it's gotta be it's related with Vrask going down, with him dying. It's Throven's reaction to it, man. It's like his calmness and it's like leadership, man. It's him pointing, doing the calling the shots, telling people what to do, what spells to be using, what they need to be doing. I thought that was a really impressive move, Tommy. Like, goddamn, really, Throven really stepped up right there, and I felt it, man. What about you, Tommy? What was your favorite?
My favorite moment is when Vrask died, but for a different reason. I guess it was. I mean, I understand how the whole thing where you actually see me catch on fire. You see Throven. This is actually the first fight we've been in since my fist got bigger, since I got an extra, base attack bonus. So yeah, I became better since the last time. Yeah.
And we were fighting for keeps too, man.
Yeah. So, but when you went down, that's just coincidence. But you went down, the thing I thought was like, all I have is sticks. What's going to happen to the group now? Who's the ally? Because Vrask, had Throven's back, and Throven had Vrask's back. That dynamic's gone forever. I mean, those are the 2 people that you knew No matter what happened, they will have each other's back. So that's the reason why when that happened, we can talk about that later on. But,
even though Vrask died, I mean, it was such an important moment for Thurman.
Yeah, it was like, I can use this. That's the reason why it was important to me. Mike, how about yourself?
My favorite moment, again, relates to Vrask death. Only it was the after battle fight. That's, mind cinema, seeing, when Pip first met Throven and Vrask, they were kids and they were punks. When we kind of tried to groom them into fighters, and they went away for cycles and came back, and now they're men and they're fighters, but they're still very kids, very childish. They still bicker, they still fight, and they throughout these past 30 sessions, they fought dozens of times, knocking each other out, over this or that. And seeing that last fight, when Vrask became an undead and Throven being the one there, right, their face to face kind of thing. That was awesome. That was the mental images I got were wonderful.
Yeah, I was afraid Vrask might just kill you, Throven. I mean, it's like that. Damn,
that could have happened.
Oh, I know that would have been terribly wonderful too. It would have been so epic, but the way it worked out, I mean, everything works out good. We just make everything work out well.
Dude, I think it worked out perfectly, man.
They did. It's a good story. All right. Well, you know what? I guess we come to the end of the recap. Join us next for
After Dusk
at 9 p.m. on Thursdays, where we get more in depth, talk about more about what we want to talk about during the recap, but we can't. And Mike, where else are we at?
You can see us on Facebook. Our Facebook pages. Search for D&D 420 Guild. If you do want to join us on Twitch on Thursday nights, it's twitch.tv/DND_420. If you want to watch us live and discussion, we are also on Podbean, dnd420.podbean.com, to listen to all our podcasts. And D&D 420, you can search us on YouTube. Eventually, we will get that YouTube URL, that custom URL, but and where it all began, dnd420.com. If you want to learn more about Vulkaminar or all the areas of Karn, the gods, the populations, and the ins and outs of Jim's thinking on D&D, you can find that all there as well as some of their other podcasts. So, all right, Tom.
All right, that comes in for the recap. My name is Tommy. I play Throven.
I'm Mike, and I play Raspit.
I'm Matthew, and I play Vrask.
And I want everyone to think about Vrask for the next day, of how much happier he made you. You have a nice night.
Yeah, hold on to your thoughts, everyone.